Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We're not on the farm today. We've got a cool project going on in town that we're gonna show you. It's gonna be pretty neat. So we thought we'd bring you along, so stick around. So we are here in Broken Bow, Nebraska at the Sandhills Journey Visitor Center. Now here, this old red barn, it was moved in here from a farm way across town years ago, and they've created kind of a Sandhills museum out of it. There's lots of artifacts and stuff in there. It's really cool. It's only open during the summer. It's currently closed. They closed like the 1st of October. But we've got a project going on up here. It's going to be really cool. Let's take you up here and show you. Here's the old sod house replica here. It's even got a sod roof that grows grass up there in the summertime. They've got it locked up. They open it for events. But you can see the walls are like 3 feet thick. And they have the inside decorated in all period stuff, all period furniture and stuff. It's really neat. But you see the walls are dirt or sod. And then the ridge beam up in here is actually from an old sod house in the area. They took the ridge beam out of it. Really cool. But here's the new project over here. They've got the foundation laid out. They've got a one-room schoolhouse that's about 15 miles up the road from Broken Bow, up near Myrna, Nebraska. And they're gonna move it clear down here and put it on this foundation. So up here above the Sandhills Journey Museum, you're gonna have like an old historic type community up here eventually, with the one-room schoolhouse that was very prominent here in Nebraska, an old sod house, an old barn. They're putting a lot of things up here together. It's gonna be a nice little place. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to where they're getting the old schoolhouse. We'll show you the old schoolhouse. They're blocking it up today and getting it ready for transport. So let's head on up there. So here's the old schoolhouse that's gonna be moved. The movers are here, getting ready to jack this thing up. This schoolhouse was called the Maroney School back in the day. It was from the District 58 school here in Custer County. Back in the year 1939, 1940, there was 244 school districts just here in Custer County. So that's pretty crazy. That's not counting the whole of Nebraska. And this schoolhouse was originally 1.5 miles northwest. And when the school disbanded and they were no longer having school there, the owner of this property brought it over here, and this is where it's sat ever since. I'll show you a map of all those school districts just in here in the county. It's a pretty crazy map. Here's the inside of the old schoolhouse here. Pretty cool. You can see all the cool woodwork around the windows. You can see daylight through the walls. Used to be old lath and plaster. They took a lot of the plaster out of here to lower the weight down on this little schoolhouse, but just a one-room school was all this was. That's as big as it is right there. Pretty neat. They've got holes dug underneath each side of the schoolhouse here, and then they put these like pavers down. Looks like metal, aluminum, something or other. And then they're going to take one of these big boards, attach it to the side of the house, and then these are jacks that you can see the connections down here, and jacks it up that far so they can get the truck up underneath it. That little foot right there raises it up. They're knocking the bricks out of this side, getting ready to bring the jacks over here. Got the plate down there already. This one had a tree grown through it. They've got to put another ledger board over here to hold up the little porch section. Driving in a whole lot of screws. Got a whole bucket of them. So this schoolhouse just sitting on those bricks. So once they get this thing secured and get the jacks going, it should just lift right up. All right, all the jacks are in place. They've got the big beams here ready to shove under once they get it jacked up. Barely see it going up. Getting ready to slide the beams under, move them around, make sure they're in position. Gonna shove the other beam in now. You can see this beam right here has the kingpin right here to hook right to the fifth wheel on the truck. So you just back the truck underneath this beam and you're hooked up. All right, it's officially resting on the beams. They're lowering the jacks right now, getting to get them out of the way. Now that the schoolhouse is firmly on the beams, they're moving the jacks from underneath the side of the schoolhouse to on the cribbing and picking up on the beams now instead of the schoolhouse. Pedestals here also have a hydraulic jack on them, so that could be moved up and down. All right, they got the dollies underneath the back. Looks like a giant semi-trailer with a house sitting on it now. They've got the hydraulics hooked up back here, got hoses running clear to the front so they can control the height of both sides from the front as they drive so they can keep this thing level. And then these things also steer too if need be. This bar right here connects both of these tongue looking things, and then they can move it with a come along back and forth if they need to steer it for some reason. They don't have to steer enough to where they need to do that automatically. They can just do it manually if needed. Hooking the hoses up to the wet kit on the tractor here. They can control those rear wheels from the tractor. All right, she's loaded and ready to go. They're going to leave out of here about 8:45 in the morning. We'll be back here and we'll show you how it goes. Tonight, some of the volunteers are going to replace some of this wood underneath here while it's all jacked up. It'll be a lot easier than when it's sitting on the foundation up there where it's going. So we'll see you in the morning, folks. All right, good morning, folks. We are back and we are ready to roll. It's about 8:45. The power company just pulled out. They're going to go ahead and get things ready. Waiting for the sheriff to get here. We have a sheriff escort for going down the highway. But things are set to go. Got the local radio station here covering this. So it's going to be a cool trip. On the move. Schoolhouse is in motion. First time it's moved in a lot of years. Here she comes. Power company guys are lifting up the wires out there for the schoolhouse to go under. Pretty tight fit. But she's gonna make it. Coming up to the highway, got the sheriff out front. Schoolhouse is coming over the hill, down the hill, gonna jump on. Well, she made it in one piece. I'm going to take it up the hill, up there where she's going to sit. Got lots of people showed up to watch the festivities here. Here's the foundation right here. Looks like she rode pretty good. Probably the roughest part of the ride right now. I think what they're going to do is they're going to pull up, crank the truck hard right, and then they can steer these axles over and get it over the foundation. So now they're going to use the come-alongs and move those rear wheels, turn them to the right so it tracks correctly over the foundation. Going to be pretty close. I'm turning the truck hard right now. Starting on the cribbing now, getting ready to put the jacks in. They'll crib this probably pretty close up to the beams up there, and then start lowering her down. Lowering the hydraulics down. Alright, they've got the jacks underneath, using a little bit different jacks than what they used yesterday. These are a little easier to move around. They just lowered it down with the truck up front, putting it on the cribbing. Now it's on the jack. And then they can raise these jacks back here, take the pressure off of the trucks back here. They can remove the trucks out from underneath it. wheels are out. They'll probably pull the truck out from underneath the front. Already headed down onto the cribbing. Won't be long now. Truck's unhooked. Everything in reverse. What we did yesterday. Now with these new jacks, it should go down quick. You just start pulling logs out and letting it down. It'll set right down on there. Got a little bit of movement to make, but you can see they've got the rollers here. Those rollers will enable them to move it around a little bit once it gets down on the beams. See, they've got the roller in place now, and they're going to do the same thing in the back, and then they can just roll the whole schoolhouse forward to line up with the foundation, because we're about a foot off right now. With those rollers, it'll line right up. All right. Move it over, line it up. There she goes. Easy as that. A little too far, looks like. We've got it chained to the skid steer so it doesn't roll all the way off. Well, folks, we are down on the foundation. They did a pretty good job on the foundation. It sits pretty square, so now they're getting ready to pull the beams out, and we'll be done. Folks, there she sits, all squared away. Looks good up here on the hill. Good addition to this area up here. That was a fun project. We're gonna head home. It's pretty chilly out here. Go home, get warmed up, maybe make something warm for dinner. I think I got him talked into getting a church put up here too, because I know where there's one at that needs saving, so that would be super cool. So everybody's real open to it, so hopefully we can get that done too. So I hope you enjoyed this little project here, and hope you excuse my voice kind of going out, but we had a good time the last 2 days, and we might be back working on this thing, so we'll do a video of that too once we get this thing going. I got an old wood stove I'm going to donate to put in there, so it's super cool to have this up here. So come back and see us here real soon on Mark Kelly Farm. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Love you guys. We'll see you.